cross into the vortex.
Welcome to In the Dark. I'm Steve Crawford. The Brookings Report. I don't know if any of you have heard of this. I'm sure some of you have. A lot of people say, why would the government keep things from us? Well, there's a great reason. I'm going to play a clip of the Brookings Report. Now, this was something NASA commissioned the Brookings Institute to think of anything that could happen if we were to find out about aliens. And this was the report they came up with. Check this out and tell me if it doesn't seem a little suspicious. Now, when it says they fear the collapse of civilization, essentially, what they're talking about really is the businesses. They would lose control. Religion, lose control. All the people who have jobs that have to do with outer space in one way or another, whether they're college professors or they work at NASA or some other country's space agency, those jobs would be gone. Think about that. Here it is, the Brookings Report.
A report was prepared under contract to NASA by the Brookings Institute, Washington, D.C. The report outlines the need to investigate the possible social consequences of an extraterrestrial discovery and to consider whether such a discovery should be kept from the public in order to avoid political change and a possible devastating effect on scientists themselves due to the discovery that many of their own most cherished theories could be at risk.
And it says in there that you should seriously consider covering that information up because it may in fact lead to what it calls the disintegration of our culture because of the tremendous cultural impact, the shock that it would have, especially to scientists and engineers who've come to believe arrogantly, I think, that we are the top of the heap, that we are some part of some natural process and we are the dominant species. I don't think that argument flies. I think that document is nothing more than their political and legal cover for what they've been doing, because there is a much bigger issue that comes out here. What most people don't know is that, NASA is not a civilian science agency. If you look at the actual charter under which NASA was originally put into existence, it states clearly there that NASA is an adjunct, a division of the Department of Defense, and it is beholden to the Department of Defense.
When you couple the Brookings Institute report with a document called Executive Order 10501, 10501 was a document that was specifically related to safeguarding official information in the interests of national defense. And it's important to note that the term national defense actually includes not only considerations of a military perspective, but also geoeconomic and geopolitical as well.
Okay, so there's that, right? The Brookings Report established decades ago that the government was never, and NASA was never, going to tell us anything that they found. Because we can't be alone. We simply can't. If you use the Drake equation, even if you're a flat earther, there's a map showing 33 extra continents outside of that dome. So I'm thinking the Earth is bigger, and I want to know, what did the alien... Allegedly now, President Eisenhower in the 50s met with a group of aliens that offered us all kinds of great things if we would get rid of our nuclear bombs. And they turned them down. And then the Greys came along, made a similar deal, but said, hey, we'll give you some of our tech and you can even keep your nuclear weapons. The government said, hey, fucking right, let's go with that one. What was it the good aliens were offering? How cool would it be if they were offering us a way to open up our minds? We only use 10% of our brain. What if they were capable of showing us how to expand it even further? And in doing so, would that allow us to tap into what we hear about alleged superhuman abilities? Levitation, super speed, super endurance, teleportation, all of these things, superpowers. Could that have been something that the elite wanted to keep away from us? Whether it be something you were born with, some kind of superpower you were born with, which could be considered a gift from God, or whether it was aliens came down and gave you powers or some kind of super suit, like in The Greatest American Hero, or whether it's even something like from the devil, Ghost Rider himself. Everybody, especially myself, has thought about how cool it would be to have superpowers. Now, how many people have heard of David Icke and him talking about reptilians and they've taken over the world's power elite? Now, how many of you remember a TV movie? It was a series called V. There were two of them. There was one that was done in the 80s, and then it was revamped about 10 years ago. Now, these shows, and even Stephen Hawking says, it doesn't go too well for the inferior civilization when someone who's technologically superior shows up. Talk to the Aztecs and the Native American Indians, right? So what if we are their food? On the show V, these guys, they all come down, they look beautiful, they look just like us, they offer us everything. They offer us cures for diseases, how to get rid of all the pollution and all of this stuff, and everybody looks at them like they're saviors and or gods. They turn out to be reptilians who have come here to gather us as food. That's not beyond the realms of possibility either. Going to take a quick break here, and we're going to pop up a song from one of my favorite bands, Harem Scarum. This is a song about justice, which we see way too little of in this day and age. Harem Scarum, Justice in the World.
Justice in the world. Freedom burns forever in the holy sun. It leads us into a battle that's never won. Whatever I take, or whatever I give, doesn't seem to matter anymore. There's no justice in the world. No justice in the world. Feel the fire when you say it's alright. No justice in the world. When you realize that the devil's got your number. It's your decision to walk the mile when the road is long. It's like religion, wasting our lives on worthless cause. Whatever I take, or whatever I give, doesn't seem to matter anymore. There's no justice in the world. No justice in the world. Feel the fire when you say it's alright.
Now, between Marvel and DC, they've got the spectrum covered when it comes to how you get your superpowers. The CW, though, there's a network that's doing great taking obscure superheroes, the lesser known, and making them hit TV shows and TV stars. And they've got another new show coming out. Apparently, they're going to be getting rid of Arrow. I hope not. But and Supergirl, I believe, is on her last legs. Flash is kind of up in the air right now. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been renewed. Everybody's digging Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes. But now they're starting a new show, and it's a black superhero, which is about time. We've seen a couple of them, like Black Panther and Luke Cage. But for DC, this is their first featured TV show starring a black superhero character, and it is called Black Lightning. African American dude with some superhuman powers, lightning based. This guy was one of my favorites back. There used to be a TV show, Super Friends, in the 80s, in the 70s, when I was just a wee lad. And this guy was, for some reason, I always thought it'd be really cool to be able to fly and electrocute people at the same time, so this guy's character spoke to me. Here's a quick clip showing you what to look forward to. And now, if CW, actually, if they want to keep it obscure but cool at the same time, what they really should think of is Nightwing. Dick Grayson grows up, stops being Robin, and becomes his own superhero named Nightwing. That would be a kick-ass show. Here's a clip from Black Lightning.
Black Lightning was a savior who kept our streets and our schools safe. He could only bury who he really was for so long.
The city is getting more and more dangerous every moment. I'm just trying to keep you safe. Now you just pissed me off. Is that your car?
Yeah.
It was nice.
Hashtag Black Lightning's back.
Coming soon to In the Dark. Pete Lesperance. Starring in Hiram Scarum. New album United out now. They're only like the best band ever. What's up, John Bon Jovi? What? Come at me, bro. That's right. Fade away. Fade away. Get your copy now.